My phone buzzed violently on the nightstand, dragging me out of sleep. 3:02 a.m. For a second, I thought it was a dream, until I saw the caller ID. Mom. Mom, I croaked, still half asleep. Her voice came through in a panicked rush. Lena, your brother's in the hospital. They said he'll suffer through the night unless we pay immediately. The bill is $12,600. Send it right now, or they'll refuse treatment. I blinked into the dark, trying to process the words. My heart thudded once, then went cold, because this wasn't the first time I'd gotten that kind of call. Mom, I said flatly, where's Noah? They're working on him. He needs the money now. I sat up, rubbing my face. Call your precious daughter, I said, voice sharp now. The one you always believed. The one who never paid a cent but took all the credit. There was a pause. Lena, please. Click. I hung up and dropped the phone beside me. My hands trembled, but I told myself it was just anger. Mom had pulled emotional emergencies before, always for money, always late at night, always when I was too tired to argue. But this time felt different. The silence after I hung up wasn't relief, it was wrong. Heavy. I rolled over, trying to sleep again. But something in my gut whispered, what if this time, it isn't another lie? And that whisper wouldn't let me rest. The sunlight sliced through my blinds far too soon. My phone, face down on the nightstand, vibrated again, this time with an unknown number. I almost ignored it. Almost. Hello. I muttered, voice rough from no sleep. Is this Lena Collins? A deep voice asked. This is Officer Ramirez with the Seattle Police Department. Every trace of drowsiness vanished. Yes, this is Lena. What? What's happened? There's been an incident, he said carefully. Your brother Noah Collins was admitted to St. Mary's Hospital last night after a roadside altercation. He's stable now, but we need you to come in for a statement. My stomach dropped. I sat up so fast the blanket tangled around me. Wait, he's alive? My mom, she called me last night, said he needed money or… Ma'am, the officer interrupted gently, your mother's been here since 2:30 a.m. She's the one who called the ambulance. The phone felt slippery in my hand. Then why would she tell me? He sighed. Maybe you should come down here and ask her yourself. The line clicked. I sat there, stunned. The same mother who had screamed for money at 3 a.m. was sitting safely in a hospital waiting room right now, probably sipping coffee, maybe even crying. But $12,600? That number wasn't random. That was my savings balance. Down to the dollar. My heart pounded harder now. Not from fear, from realization. Someone had known. Someone had planned that call. And it wasn't just about my brother anymore. The drive to St. Mary's felt longer than it should have. My coffee sat untouched in the cup holder. The highway looked too bright for how sick my stomach felt. I kept replaying the 3 a.m. call, hearing every fake tremor in Mom's voice. When I reached the hospital, fluorescent light washed over a row of plastic chairs and vending machines. Mom sat in the corner, designer coat draped over her shoulders, scrolling her phone like she wasn't the reason I hadn't slept. She looked up startled. Lena, you came. Of course I did. I kept my voice level. Where's Noah? In surgery earlier, but he's awake now, she said quickly. They said he'll be fine. Thank God. I should have felt relief, but all I felt was anger. Why did you ask for $12,600 last night? Her face went blank. What are you talking about? The call. You said he wouldn't get treated unless I sent it. You screamed at me for not helping. For a second, something flickered in her eyes, confusion, maybe fear. But then she shook her head. Lena, I never called you. A chill ran through me. Mom, it was your voice. You said. I was here with Noah all night. You can ask the nurses. My knees weakened. If Mom hadn't called, who had known the exact balance in my savings account? Mom frowned. Honey, what's wrong? I swallowed hard. Someone pretended to be you. And whoever it was, they knew everything about me. Mom's brow furrowed. Pretended to be me? Lena, that's ridiculous. Who would? I don't know, I said, glancing around the quiet hallway. But they knew my savings amount down to the last cent. That's not random. Mom looked genuinely shaken now. You think someone hacked you? Maybe, I muttered. But how would they even know my brother was here before the police did? She didn't answer. Her eyes flicked toward Noah's room, where the faint sound of a monitor beeped. For a second, I thought she might cry, but then the door opened, and Noah's girlfriend, Tessa, stepped out. She looked startled to see me. Lena, you're here. Obviously. I forced a smile. I heard about Noah. She nodded slowly, brushing her dark hair behind her ear. He's sleeping now. It was just a concussion. Thank God. Mom stood up. I'm going to get coffee. She left too quickly. I turned back to Tessa. Hey, can I ask you something? Did you hear anything weird last night? Calls, texts, anything? Tessa hesitated, biting her lip. Actually, yeah. Someone called Noah around 10. He looked confused. Said it was about a payment, but then he laughed it off. I froze. What kind of payment? She shrugged. He didn't say. But whoever it was, he called them sis. My throat tightened. He called them what? She looked at me blankly. Sis. Like you? But I hadn't called him. Not once. And suddenly my skin went cold. Someone wasn't just pretending to be Mom. They were pretending to be me. For a moment, I couldn't breathe. Tessa's words echoed like sirens. He called them sis. I didn't call him, I whispered. Her brow furrowed. Then who did? I didn't answer. My fingers shook as I pulled out my phone and opened my recent calls. There it was, the 3 a.m. call from Mom. But beneath it, 2 more outgoing calls I didn't remember making. One to Noah. One to an unknown number. A chill rippled through me. Tessa, when Noah got that call, did he say anything else? She thought for a moment. Just that he'd take care of it. Then he left the apartment, and an hour later, he got jumped near a parking lot. The police think it was a mugging. A mugging. But now it sounded more like a setup. My heartbeat drummed in my ears. Tessa, can you text me the number that called him last night? She nodded, quickly typing. My phone buzzed with her message, a long number with a Washington area code. When I dialed it, a metallic voice answered immediately. This number is no longer in service. But that voice, it wasn't robotic. It was pre-recorded, almost familiar. I ended the call and opened my banking app. The balance was untouched for now. Someone out there was watching, copying voices, knowing habits. And somehow, that someone was inside my family circle. Because no stranger could ever have known what my mother sounded like crying. I sat in the hospital cafeteria, untouched coffee cooling beside me. My reflection in the window looked as pale as I felt. Whoever had faked that call didn't just guess. They knew things only my family could know. I scrolled through my phone again, opening old messages. And then it hit me. The number Tessa sent, the area code matched one I'd seen before. It was the same code from an old text chain, one from Sophie. My sister. Not by blood, but Mom's favorite, the golden stepdaughter who'd always had access to everything, passwords, accounts, even Dad's old insurance files. The one Mom still called her real helper. I remembered my own words from last night, the bitter ones I'd spat out without thinking. Call your precious daughter. The words twisted in my chest. Had Mom told Sophie about my savings? Or had Sophie found out herself? I called her immediately. Straight to voicemail. Then I tried again. Nothing. When I finally looked up, Officer Ramirez was walking toward me, notepad in hand.
Miss Collins, he said.
We pulled some records from the number that called your brother. Guess what? The SIM card was registered to someone named S. Langford. I stared at him, numb. Sophie Langford. He nodded. You know her? She's my stepsister. He frowned. Then we've got a bigger problem, ma'am. Because your stepsister didn't just fake your mom's voice. She accessed both of your banking profiles. We think she's done this before. My pulse pounded in my ears. Before I could respond, my phone lit up with a new message. From Sophie. Don't call the cops, Lena. You owe me this. My fingers trembled as I opened the message thread. More texts appeared, one after another, like she'd been waiting for me to wake up. You always had everything. Mom's attention, Dad's patience, Noah's love. I was the extra.
The mistake.
You just didn't see it. I could barely breathe. Officer, she's texting me right now. He signaled another officer to start tracing the number. I didn't mean to hurt Noah. He was just supposed to scare you. Make you send the money. Then he showed up at the parking lot yelling my name. I stared at the screen, nausea rising. Noah had recognized her. That's why he'd gone out that night. That's why he'd been attacked. Another text arrived, slower this time, almost desperate. He wasn't supposed to get hurt, Lena.
I swear.
I typed back, hands shaking. Where are you, Sophie? Please, just stop this before it gets worse. For a full minute, nothing. Then a final message. You'll find me where it started. The house Dad left us. Midnight. The officer leaned over my shoulder. We'll send a unit. But I shook my head.
No.
She won't talk to anyone else. He hesitated. You sure about that? I looked at the last text, the place where all our jealousy and rivalry had begun. I'm sure. If I don't go, she'll disappear. Outside, the sky was already turning dark again. Midnight wasn't far away. The old Collins house sat at the edge of town, half swallowed by trees and memories. Its porch light flickered weakly as I pulled into the drive. Midnight, just like she said. Sophie. I called softly, stepping through the front door. Dust hung in the air like old regret. The same wallpaper we fought over as kids still peeled by the stairs. I heard movement from the kitchen. She stepped out slowly, hood up, eyes swollen. You came. I nodded. You didn't leave me much choice. For a moment, neither of us spoke. Then her voice cracked. You think I wanted to be like this? Always the outsider? When Mom looked at you, it was pride. When she looked at me, it was charity. Sophie, I whispered, I never wanted competition. You were my sister. Her jaw trembled. You don't get it. I was drowning. Debts, rent, the loan sharks. I thought if I could get you to send the money, I'd fix everything before anyone knew. Tears stung my eyes. And Noah? She looked away. He saw me near the hospital. Tried to stop me. I panicked. I took a shaky breath. It's over. Let me help you, but not like this. Blue and red lights flashed outside. The officers had followed me. Sophie didn't fight when they let her out. She just whispered, Tell Mom I'm sorry. Weeks later, as Noah healed, I realized the truth. Forgiveness isn't weakness, it's closure. Some lessons come at midnight, when old ghosts demand attention. And if you're hearing this, check the voices that ask for your help. Because sometimes, family isn't the one saving you. It's the one you have to save from themselves.